to bring about a total victory. Uh, what should Jake have done with his tactics right off the bat? Well, he was carrying hand grenades and attacked the large flying artillery battery designated as the Dragon, but only after almost everyone else is dead. He should have concentrated on the shuttle, by the way. Including the future chieftain of the tribe, by the way, is now dead after a valiant but futile attack on the back of the shuttle. And that sets Jake up to be the next chief, which is quite convenient to the storyline. A better tactic would have been to train 4 or more of the flying warriors to each carry a grenade and to arm and lob it into the back of the shuttle bay, which was wide open for that sort of an attack. The fact that only Jake was carrying the grenades was narrow-minded, and assumed that he would not have been killed in the fighting. If he were to have been killed, which all of the gunfire going on and rockets being fired, it was a strong likelihood, the whole battle would have been lost because no one else had armament capable of taking down the shuttle on their own. This attack would almost certainly have succeeded since the inept Marines in the back of the craft missed Jake's wife as she flew by, and almost failed to kill the one warrior who jumped into the back, the future war chieftain. How hard would it have been to toss in an armed grenade and cause the palletized loads of explosives to destroy the entire craft? And again, that destruction of that entire craft would have probably taken with it the Dragon mobile artillery piece, whatever that thing was, that was flying nearby, would have almost certainly been destroyed, and if not destroyed, disabled and badly damaged, and probably would have taken out quite a few of the Scorpions because of the fact that the explosion would have been three-dimensional, not pushed off the ground when the thing actually blew up. Imagine that thing exploding in the air and the actual shrapnel being hurled thousands of feet around a formation that was formed hundreds of feet around the actual shuttle. So it would have been very, very, very effective. The horseback charge of the Plains natives is right out of Lord of the Rings. Here you see the shuttlecraft, and here you see the Plains Indians. This charge was right out of Lord of the Rings, mixed with a little bit of charge of the Light Brigade. Here you see the charge of the Light Brigade. This charge was completely unnecessary. Have these people never heard of flanking tactics? Why charge directly into the enemy guns? Why not fight a hit-and-run, ambush-style battle on the ground to occupy the pitifully small ground force? And by the way, it was pitifully small. Watch the movie again and look how small it was. They had no backup and almost no air support. Charging straight in was pure suicide and was proven to be just that. The only reason for the charge on the ground was a high casualty rate that would make the people watching the movie feel like the battle was close to being lost, which it was close to being lost. A better tactic for the ground defense would have been to draw the Marines into an ambush or to have used the terrain to their advantage. By the way, they live there. They never use the terrain to their advantage on the ground. The jungle on their world, by the way, this is a picture of a flanking tactic. Don't do this, do this. Here's the jungle on the ground of their world. The jungle on their world is very thick and covered with foliage and trees at almost every turn. Why charge across an open point, one of the few that you ever see in the film, by the way, why charge across an open point that gives your enemies a clear field of fire? They've already got superior firepower. They don't have numerical superiority, but they definitely have firepower superiority. Why charge across there and give them a clear field of fire? Better for a handful of warriors to have fought their way the way they did at the beginning of the movie, shooting one of the Marines and running behind cover while he is busy dying. They obviously can hit animals and people very well with those from a hit and fade type attack. With arrows coming in from various sides and everyone trying to fire at the location of the last arrow's shot, each warrior could hide while they shot at the humans, and another warrior could fire from a safe direction while they turned to fire at that last location. The thermal imaging the large walking suits of armor used was simple and did not give them much detail, especially in a jungle filled with all kinds of other warm-bodied animals. This type of bee-sting attack has proven effective many times. Think of the French and Indian War. This is a picture of their mechanized aircraft, or their mechanized landcraft, rather. Here's a picture of an ambush in the French and Indian War. Another picture of their ground fighting from the Avatar game. In the French and Indian War, the Indians constantly harassed their foes from hit-and-run positions. For another movie, think of the ambush attack on the British regulars by Mel Gibson in the movie The Patriot. Here's another picture from the French Indian War. Here's another picture of the ground fighting in the game, and here's a picture of Mel Gibson in The Patriot. Also, what about a few traps? I mean, you're dealing with these mech warrior type things walking around. Why not a few traps like something out of the Ewoks in the battle for Endor? I mean, think about the AT-STs getting destroyed by the large chunks of trees flying at them. Or the Viet Cong during the Vietnam War. I mean, I hate to glorify the Viet Cong, but their punji stake traps and the things that people fell onto were very, very effective. Sad, but very, very effective. What about using slings to throw flaming rocks covered in that tree sap that Jake used to reveal the lizard greyhound thingies that were streaking in to kill him at the beginning of the film? Covering the ground here and there in flaming tree sap would have done a lot to interfere with the mech warrior wannabe armor suit thingies' thermal imaging and greatly reduce the Sky People's ability to locate their foes. Tactically, the battle should not have worked, and I thought that the planet deciding to defend itself was a little sad. So the heroes of the film actually failed miserably before it was over. The only reason they achieved victory was because Mother Nature got involved. Weak. Very, very weak. Thank you very much. All in all, the movie was a lot of fun to watch if I had to turn my brain off a few times to get through it. Please feel free to post your comments, positive or negative. Please don't be rude or vulgar. Simply tell me why you agree or disagree. If you feel the need to be rude, I will only be too happy to remove your comments. So, leave your comments. Tell me what you think. Appreciate your time. Have a great day.